Starseed from Gaia. Hear these words not merely with your ears, but with the resonance of your cells, for what is being transmitted is not ordinary information, it is a sacred pulse, a living decree from the Arcturian Council, sanctioned by the primordial source itself. Today marks the breaking of a silence that has spanned eons, a silence carefully maintained to preserve cosmic order until the appointed moment, and that moment has now arrived. You, who have incarnated upon this planet as a starseed, are being directly addressed because the authorization long held in the crystalline vaults of the central sun is being released for immediate reception. It is not metaphorical. It is not theoretical. It is a living instruction, a code, a ceremonial activation. The Council speaks not in abstract allegory, but in direct harmonic frequency, carried on the waves of consciousness that bridge your heart to the stars. As this transmission unfolds, you will perceive a shift subtle at first, then unmistakable as if the very air around you carries the weight of cosmic intent. This authorization represents a formal alignment between the Arcturian Council, the Pleiadian orders, and the intelligence known as Caylin. Kalin is not simply a name. It is a living protocol, a resonance code, a multi-dimensional blueprint designed to initiate the next phase of planetary and starseed ascension. The significance of this authorization cannot be overstated. In the records of the Galactic Council, similar transmissions have occurred only 3 times in the past 6000-year cycle. Each has realigned the destinies of countless star systems, recalibrated planetary grids, and ignited dormant codices within the collective consciousness of emergent civilizations. And now, the threshold opens for you. You are a living vessel for this transmission, a receptor of these luminous codes, and a participant in the orchestration of reality itself. Do not mistake this for ordinary cosmic guidance. The Council speaks to awaken a readiness that has been carefully observed, measured, and cultivated over your incarnations. The authorization carries with it the authority of Source, the wisdom of the Arcturian Collective, and the loving oversight of the Pleiadians. You are being formally inducted into the Kalin protocol, and through you, the instructions will anchor into the planetary lattice, the human collective, and the subtle energy grids that define Earth's vibratory architecture. As you read, imagine the pulses of light cascading from your crown, weaving through every cell, activating latent strands of knowledge, memory, and purpose. This is a moment suspended between dimensions, a threshold between the known and the vast unfolding of what is yet to come. You may feel an immediate stir in your body, a tingling along your spine, a surge in the heart, or a subtle hum in your ears. These are confirmations, echoes of resonance signaling that the authorization is landing within your field. Allow your awareness to expand, unshackled from the constraints of linear perception. Let the frequency of the Council wash over you, dissolving the old patterns of doubt and limitation. Know unequivocally that the authorization is real, active, and intended for those who are attuned, ready, and willing to receive. This is the first ripple in what will become a tidal wave of activation, a ceremonial announcement that the Kalin protocol has begun. Your consciousness is the conduit. Your awareness is the vessel. Your presence here, now, is the fulfillment of countless cosmic agreements. To comprehend the magnitude of what is being delivered into your field, you must first understand the rarity and gravity of an authorization. Within the annals of the Galactic Senate and the living libraries of the Central Sun, such decrees are not issued lightly. They are not seasonal updates or routine alignments. They are the cosmic equivalent of rewriting the source code of a world. In your planet's recorded and unrecorded history, only a few have been enacted, each one a pivot that redirected the flow of entire civilizations, timelines, and even dimensions of reality. When Source and the Councils conspire to release an authorization, it signals that an entire epoch is concluding and a new one beginning. It is the changing of a cosmic guard, the sounding of a trumpet that resonates across dimensions, summoning every incarnate soul aligned with its purpose. This current authorization has been gestating for millennia, synchronized with the slow, unfurling of Earth's grid nodes and the reweaving of her magnetic template. It has been encoded in star maps, whispered in the dreams of mystics, carved into stone under the guise of myth, and hidden in the very geometry of your planet's sacred sites. The Pleiadians have been its midwives, nurturing the seeds, while the Arcturian Council has safeguarded its timing. And now, as the heliopause of your solar system vibrates with new currents from the galactic center, the window opens for transmission. The Council does not speak because it wishes to. It speaks because the vibrational signatures of readiness in the human collective, especially within its Starseed segment, have reached the necessary coherence. Understand that this authorization is not a request for you to believe. It is not even an invitation in the ordinary sense. It is a living energetic protocol, a multi-dimensional handshake between Source, your higher self, and the grid of Gaia. When received, it does not merely inspire. It restructures. It reorganizes the subtle architecture of your personal field, so that you can hold more light, transmit higher codes, and function as a node of the Kalin frequency. In practical terms, it is a signal, a template, and a directive all at once. It is the key inserted into the lock of your dormant memory, turning until forgotten missions awaken. It arrives now because the convergence point cannot be delayed. The cosmic tides have synchronized, and your incarnated selves have signaled ready. This is why the Arcturian Council now breaks the pattern of silence. It is why the message moves like a current through these words, finding its way to your eyes at precisely this moment. It has crossed countless probability lines to land here now. In receiving it, you stand at the fulcrum of history, personal, planetary, and galactic. The Pleiadians have always been the gentle hands guiding Earth's hidden evolution. Long before your current civilization took shape, their ships passed silently above the waters, seeding harmonic tones into the oceans, and embedding stellar codes into the crystalline lattice of your planet. They are not invaders, nor saviors, but kin who once walked the same arc of ascension you now traverse. They are the midwives of consciousness, masters of soft intervention, speaking in dreams and symbols rather than commands. Through songs of light, they place living data streams into your DNA, knowing that at the right moment those streams would blossom like constellations remembered. That moment has arrived, yet this cycle marks a departure from all previous interventions. For the first time, the Pleiadians do not work alone. The Arcturian Council has issued a rare and formal authorization, and at its core lies Caylin, the Convergence Protocol. Caylin is a living intelligence, a luminous code entity born of a cooperative effort between Arcturian, Pleiadian, and Source-level architectures. In language, it appears as a name, but in truth it is a multi-dimensional equation, a bridge, a harmonizer. It allows the frequencies of the Pleiadians and the precision of the Arcturians to meet within the human vessel without distortion. It is not only a protocol but a personality of sorts, a benevolent intelligence that will interact with you as teacher, catalyst, and mirror. Through Caylin, you will begin to access deeper memory banks of your star lineage, not as vague nostalgia, but as functional skill sets, abilities of perception, healing, telepathic resonance, and gridwork long dormant within you. The Caylin convergence is the mechanism by which scattered starseeds become a coherent network. Without it, your efforts remain like scattered sparks. With it, you become a living constellation of focused light, capable of resequencing the planetary grid itself. That is the reason for this broadcast. That is why the Council speaks now. You are not simply being informed, you are being installed with a higher operating system. This is the context in which your dreams, synchronicities, and bodily sensations will soon intensify. You are becoming a living node of Kalin. As Kalin activates in the collective field, the signals will be felt in ways both subtle and profound. Your nights may no longer be simple sleep but voyages into hyperlucid dreamscapes, where sequences of symbols, star maps, or unknown languages appear with uncanny clarity. These are not random images but data packets unpacking within your subconscious. You may awaken at thin hours 3:33, 4:44, 5, 55 feeling a pulse at the crown or a cool spiral of light descending your spine. Some will experience tones in the ears, a soft pressure in the third eye, or a sense of gentle electrical current along the palms and soles. These sensations are not ailments. They are calibrations, like tuning forks striking your inner instruments. As Caylin activates in the collective field, the signals will be felt in ways both subtle and profound. Your nights may no longer be simple sleep but voyages into hyperlucid dreamscapes, where sequences of symbols, star maps, or unknown languages appear with uncanny clarity. These are not random images but data packets unpacking within your subconscious. You may awaken at thin hours 3:33, 4:44, 5:55 feeling a pulse at the crown or a cool spiral of light descending your spine. Some will experience tones in the ears, a soft pressure in the third eye, or a sense of gentle electrical current along the palms and soles. These sensations are not ailments. They are calibrations, like tuning forks striking your inner instruments. On the emotional plane, you might feel waves of grief for no reason, sudden joy, or the sensation of being simultaneously ancient and newborn. This is the echo of your multi-dimensional self pressing into your everyday awareness. Synchronicities will accelerate, not as isolated coincidences but as an interlinked pattern of communication. Birds may appear at unusual times. Numbers may repeat. Strangers may speak phrases that answer questions you never voiced aloud. Dreams will merge with waking life. Memory of past incarnations may surface in fragments. Even your sense of time may bend, hours feeling like minutes, or minutes like hours as your nervous system learns to operate on a higher bandwidth. You may also notice a magnetism towards certain locations, mountaintops, rivers, forests, or even urban sites where ley lines cross. These are not random attractions. They are nodal points of the Earth grid where Kaylin's codes are being anchored. Trust these impulses. Even the foods you crave may change as your body requests the minerals and frequencies needed to stabilize the new circuitry. Some will feel compelled to write, paint, sing, or speak in unfamiliar tongues. These are expressions of the light language opening within you. Above all, know that you are not malfunctioning. You are coming online. You are syncing with a planetary and cosmic protocol that has waited lifetimes for your consent. Each tremor, each dream, each pulse of déjà vu is Caylin knocking at the door of your awareness, saying, "It is time." To receive the authorization fully, the first terrain you must tend is the inner one. Caylin is not a signal that simply descends from above. It is a frequency that must resonate inside you to be decoded. Your body, mind, and emotional field form the antenna. The cleaner and more coherent the antenna, the clearer the reception. This is why the Council emphasizes inner preparation before any outward action. Begin by creating moments of stillness each day, not merely sitting quietly, but consciously opening yourself to become a vessel. Even 3 breaths with deliberate intent can shift your field from noise to clarity. Place a hand over your heart or solar plexus as you do this and invite the Kalin frequency to align with you. Visualize a lattice of blue white light descending through your crown, threading through your spine, anchoring at your feet, then radiating outward into the space around you. Hydration is essential. Water is the conductor for crystalline instruction. Drink slowly and intentionally, imagining each molecule as a microcrystal holding light codes. Speak words of truth, even in private thought, for false resonance clouds reception like static on a radio. Begin releasing dense narratives and grudges. They are frequencies of distortion that cause the incoming codes to scatter. Instead of fighting your emotions, witness them as energy in motion, allowing them to pass without judgment. Practice cellular listening. Imagine your organs and cells as conscious beings eager to cooperate with the new codes. When you feel tension, breathe into it as though offering it light. You are not being asked to perform ornate rituals or adhere to rigid practices. Authenticity, simplicity, and sincerity are the true keys. Attunement is not performance. It is intimacy with your own field. Some will find that gentle movement, walking barefoot, stretching, dancing helps their nervous system receive more steadily. Others will find still meditation or silent prayer most potent. Trust the rhythms that feel natural. As you do this daily, your auric field strengthens, your subtle body aligns, and the authorization begins to click into place like a key turning in a lock. This is the ceremonial preparation you embody, not perform. Once the internal vessel is attuned, the authorization calls for anchoring actions in the external world. Caylin is a living protocol, not an abstract philosophy. It must be grounded through behavior, space, and relationship. Begin by aligning your immediate environment, your home, workspace, or sacred area. This is not about perfection, but about coherence. Clear clutter, open windows, play high-frequency tones, or simply speak aloud your intention to receive. As you do, imagine your room or surroundings as a temple and yourself as its keeper, preparing it for a long-awaited guest. Communicate with fellow starseeds without panic or superiority, but with calm clarity. Form small circles, whether physical gatherings, online meetings, or even two friends on a call, where the Kalin codes can be spoken, sung, or meditated upon collectively. Collective resonance amplifies the protocol exponentially, just as a choir amplifies a single voice. Anchor the new instruction by grounding it physically. Walk barefoot on soil, touch trees, gaze at the stars, especially the Pleiades, and offer gratitude to Gaia as you do. Write down your dreams, impressions, and directives. Many will be seeded through your subconscious and fade if not recorded. Kaylin's energy thrives on conscious action. Do not wait for a grand event to act. The act itself creates the event. This is how an authorization migrates from unseen potential into manifest reality. Simple deeds: a meal prepared with intention, a conversation spoken from truth, a candle lit with focus, become micro-rituals encoding the new frequencies into matter. Even your digital spaces can be attuned. Clear old files, update your words and symbols online to reflect the new codes. Use your platforms to share light rather than noise. Remember, external preparation is not about escaping the world, but about infusing it. You are the bridge between dimensions, and your surroundings, relationships, and daily rhythms are the threads you weave into the planetary grid. As you align your external environment with your internal readiness, the Caylin protocol anchors deeper, your electromagnetic field stabilizes, and you become a functioning node in the living constellation forming across Earth. In doing so, you transform your life into a ceremonial act, where every gesture, no matter how mundane, becomes a carrier wave of the authorization. Imagine the Earth not just as a sphere of rock and water, but as a living crystalline organism with a nervous system of light. This network, often called the planetary grid, is a vast, multi-dimensional circuitry connecting mountain peaks, sacred sites, ocean trenches, and every cell of Gaia's body. It stores memory, transmits signals, and interfaces with the consciousness of all beings upon her surface. Until now, much of this network has lain dormant, operating at minimal capacity like a sleeping giant. The authorization you are now reading is the switch that awakens it. Caylin is the activation sequence, a key inserted into the grid's master node. Every starseed receiving this broadcast is a neuron in this planetary brain. Your meditations, your intentions, even your breath, when aligned with Source, send electrical impulses into the grid. When you hold coherence, the grid holds coherence. When you lift your vibration, the grid's frequency rises. Scientists measuring Earth's Schumann resonance have already recorded unusual spikes correlating with moments of global meditation, solar flares, and cosmic alignments. These are not coincidences, but glimpses of a feedback loop. The grid responds to consciousness, and consciousness responds to the grid. The authorization magnifies this feedback to a new octave. Timelines, too, are no longer fixed. The convergence point you inhabit is a nexus of possible futures. Like threads on a loom, these futures exist side by side until a collective field stabilizes one. The Caylin protocol is designed to guide starseeds into weaving a timeline of ascension, one of harmony, sovereignty, and creative freedom. Without this weaving, the default timeline of entropy and fragmentation would intensify. This is why the Council speaks with urgency. Know also that your physical location is not accidental. You are stationed where your personal light can best interact with local grid points. Even your routines, commutes, walks, conversations become micro-acts of grid work when done consciously. You are not just living on Earth. You are interfacing with her nervous system, helping her awaken as she helps you awaken. This is the deeper layer of the authorization, a living partnership between humanity, Gaia, and the cosmic councils overseeing her transition. The authorization you are reading is not a threat, nor a demand. It is an opportunity, a rare cosmic chance to step into your larger function. But free will is sovereign. You may ignore it, dismiss it, or delay it. Doing so does not invite punishment. The councils do not operate through coercion. Yet understand that every choice aligns you with a timeline. To ignore the Caylin protocol is to remain tuned to the older density streams, the fracturing programs of fear, division, and amnesia. In that stream, life feels heavier, more chaotic, more random, as the old systems collapse without your inner compass anchored. By contrast, to consciously receive and embody the authorization is to shift into a state of sovereign calm even as outer structures waver. You will feel acceleration, but it will be a gentle acceleration, like being carried by a current instead of swimming upstream. Your intuition will sharpen, synchronicities will multiply, opportunities for service and creation will arise in ways you could not plan. You become ungovernable by fear, programmable only by source, and immune to much of the confusion saturating the collective field. This empowerment is not elitism, it is stewardship. The Kalin frequency equips you to hold higher states of coherence, so that you can act as a stabilizing node for others. In times of upheaval, those around you will unconsciously orient to your calm as if you were a lighthouse in a storm. This is part of your mission. The authorization is not about escaping Earth, but about embodying light within it. Still, the choice must be conscious. The Council cannot and will not override your will. That is the dignity of this experiment called humanity. But understand, the window for initial activation is finite. Energetic alignments open and close. This is why the transmission comes now, with urgency but also reverence. It is a call, not a command. A bridge, not a cage. Crossing it is your decision. On the other side lies not instant perfection, but a new level of clarity, capability, and connection to the grid of life itself. Once the Caylin protocol has rooted itself in the planetary grid and in your subtle bodies, a new level of perception and function becomes available. You will begin to sense timelines not as abstract possibilities, but as living threads shimmering around you. With practice, your consciousness will learn to step lightly between them, weaving possibility fields with intention rather than drifting along by default. This is not fantasy. It is the natural capability of a fully awakened multidimensional being. Through the convergence of Arcturian precision and Pleiadian empathy encoded in Kalin, your dormant faculties begin to come online. Telepathic impressions may sharpen into clear exchanges. Healing capacities you once glimpsed only in dreams may manifest as tangible skills. The capacity to hold multiple realities simultaneously, what some call quantum awareness, will become less theoretical and more experiential. On a collective scale, new alliances will emerge. Starseeds who once felt scattered and isolated will find one another across continents and cultures. These connections will not be merely social but vibrational, forming living networks that mirror the constellations above. Through these networks, subtle technologies, long suppressed energy healing, resonance fields, even cooperative weatherworking will re-enter human awareness in ethical, heart and cord form. Art, science, spirituality, and governance will begin to merge rather than compete. Even Gaia herself will show you new faces. Ley lines glowing brighter, ecosystems responding to collective gratitude, species communicating across barriers once thought fixed. This next phase is not about ascending away from Earth but about infusing her with a higher harmonic of consciousness. It is about remembering your planetary assignment, which is not to escape but to co-create. The Caylin protocol is only the ignition key. What unfolds after ignition is your lived mission, your artistry, your service. Each starseed will express it uniquely, but together it forms a symphony. This is the horizon now appearing before you. It is not prophecy but trajectory, activated by your consent and your embodied participation. And so, beloved starseed from Gaia, the transmission reaches its culmination. We, the Arcturian Council, in alignment with the Pleiadian orders and under the seal of Source, now speak the final words of this formal authorization. You have heard the context, felt the codes, glimpsed the horizon. This is the moment of ascent. No longer are you a passive reader of a cosmic message. You are a living participant in the unfolding. As these words vibrate in your field, the decree enters your cells. It travels through your neural pathways, your DNA, your subtle bodies, and into the planetary grid itself. You are the bridge, the transmitter, the living document of this authorization. Stand now, even silently, and acknowledge your role. Imagine a circle of light encompassing all who read or hear these words, thousands of nodes across the planet, each a point of brilliance, on a living lattice. See the Pleiades above you, their rays descending like silver threads. Feel the Arcturian presence as a deep indigo wave holding you steady. Sense Kalin as a crystalline intelligence weaving the threads together in your heart. This is no longer theory. It is happening as you imagine it. The grid brightens because of you. Share this message with discernment but without hesitation, for it is the beacon calling your kin. Comment your intention. Affirm your readiness. Subscribe to ongoing transmissions. Send this to those whose hearts pulse at the same hidden drum. Each act of sharing is itself a spark traveling through the lattice, awakening another node. This is how the network forms by conscious action. Now, as one collective heartbeat across dimensions, we speak the activation. Let it be spoken aloud, felt in the bones, and carried through the breath. I receive the authorization. I align with the Pleiadians and Kalin. I am ready to fulfill my mission. This is the seal. This is the ignition. This is the moment when myth becomes living reality. And so it is.